So guys, welcome to yet another course of CSE Practicals. In this course, we will going to implement access control list and routing tables in C and C++. As we know, access control list is a feature that is used extensively in the networking equipments, and access control list is used to implement the security, control the traffic flow, or controlling the access to certain devices in the network. Whereas routing tables has only one use case, and that is forwarding the traffic. So in this course, we will going to implement and design the data structures which implements the access control list as well as routing tables. We have chosen to club these two together in one course because the data structure that we will going to implement is a common data structure that is used to implement ACLs, that is access control list and routing tables. We will going to end up designing and implement only one data structure, but that data structure could be used as a routing table as well as to implement access control list. Needless to say, the data structures are not trivial. They are a little bit complicated data structures, and hence we have decided to come up with a different course altogether on this topic. It is very commonly asked to experienced developers to come up with the data structures which implements the routing table operations or as well as access list operations. As we know, routing table and access control list are one of the most common features supported by the networking equipment such as routers or switches in order to implement the data forwarding or security. So prerequisite of this course is nothing but you need to be just a very good C or C++ programmer. If you are a programmer in different language such as Java or C#, then also you can very much follow up this course. I will going to explain the concepts, and it is up to you how you implement those concepts. This course is exclusively for developers. So if you are not a developer, so you may please excuse this course. Almost all my courses are designed for developers only. So you can browse my course catalog and see what is there for you that you can learn from. And the level of the students that is required to do this course is from intermediate to advanced, because this course would going to be algorithmically challenging. So this diagram shows the roadmap of this course. In the phase 1, we will going to implement the bitmap library. In the phase 2, we will going to implement mtry library. So mtry is a data structures which we are looking to implement eventually. This is our main target. And in order to implement mtry data structures, we need supportive libraries or supported data structures such as stacks, linked list, and bitmaps. Once in phase 2, we will be done with the implementation of our mtry data structure. Then we can use this mtry data structure in order to implement access control list as well as IPv4 routing tables. Alright, so this is the roadmap. First, we will going to implement the prerequisite library, which is a bitmap library. A bitmap is nothing but it is just an array of bits and nothing else. And along the way, we also need the stacks and linked list basic data structures to supplement or support the implementation of our mtry library. And eventually, when our mtry library is ready, then we will use this mtry library in order to implement the access control list and IPv4 routing table. So phase 3 and phase 4 is eventually the final product of this course. Since this course is for intermediate to advanced developers, therefore this course is fast-paced. There would not be any spoon feeding. I expect that developers are in a position to implement the stuffs on their own once they are provided or equipped with the sufficient knowledge or background regarding what exactly needs to be implemented and how. So this is the roadmap for this course. Then coming to the discussion of certain prerequisites. Since you are signed up for this course, I assume that you already are aware what are access control list and what is their use cases. And I expect that you already know what are layer 3 routing tables and what for they are used for. If you are hearing these names, that is access control list or L3 routing tables, for the first time, then please excuse this course. This course isn't for you. You have more homework to do, that is first get yourself aware what are access control list and what are routing tables before jumping into implementing these data structures or features. You have good coding skills in any mainstream language. So in this course, I will going to present you all the code demonstration in the language C or C++. But you can very much do this course provided that you know the prerequisite, that is the access control list and layer 3 routing tables, plus you are good in coding skills in any mainstream programming language such as Java, C#, Python, etc. It is up to you that in which language you want to implement this course. And this is advanced course, so obviously there won't be any spoon feeding. I have courses which are pretty much basic courses and for beginners or for those developers who are at the beginning stage. So in this course, I usually try to explain things from absolute scratch and in pretty much detail. But for the courses which are actually designed for somewhat developers who are at the advanced level or who are just above the intermediate level, I usually don't do any spoon feeding kind of stuff. I usually go fast in such courses. And you will be writing lots of code by yourself. This course is pretty much for any engineer who is working in the networking domain, in the cloud domain, or in the distributed systems as a developer. And for this course, you are very much required to understand what are subnet masks. So if you have a little bit of networking background, you would know that what exactly subnet masks are. All right. If you don't know what masks are and how does it work, then again, it is a prerequisite knowledge to know and it is mandatory. If you are not aware what masks are, how does it work, what is the role of masks in the networking, then probably you are signed up with the wrong course. And I also assume that you have a fair debugging skill. For example, you know how to run GDB or other debugging tools. You know how to work with integrated development environment, that is IDEs, etc., etc. In this course, you would be writing a lot of bit manipulation code. So obviously, if you do any programming error, then debugging that error would not be very straightforward, because in this course, you will be going to write a code in which you will be dealing with bits. So you need to be good at programming at the bit level. And finally, the takeaway from this course is that you will not only able to explain, but also would be in a position to implement access control list or routing tables. In this course, I would going to show you the implementation of both of these data structures. In fact, the end product of this course is that you will be able to come up with the generic library which would act as an object filtering framework. You just feed the set of rules in that library that on the basis of what rules you want to filter the input objects. Then the final data structures, which is the end product of this course, can also be tweaked slightly in order to implement Linux user group permission framework. Or you can also implement Linux IP tables like software. All right. All of these features more or less are same in terms of functionality, and therefore the implementation of all these features behind the scenes require more or less the same type of data structures. So once you are equipped with the knowledge regarding how to design access control list or routing tables, you would be in a position to enhance the final product of this course, that is the mtry library, to implement object filtering, Linux user group framework, or Linux IP tables like software. All right. So good luck, guys. Keep learning and join us towards progressing towards becoming a 10x developer in your career.